following shortage of beds. Ghana joins the rest of the world to mark Population Day. And on the international front, U.S. President Donald Trump describes Germany's import of Russian natural gas as a security concern. These and more coming up shortly in the next 1 hour. Do stay with us. Now to our very first story. Management of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital in Accra has suspended the referral of emergency cases to the hospital's surgical and emergency units for lack of space to accommodate patients. The decision, according to the hospital, follows congestion at the unit. A report by Sarah Paku.
The scene at the surgical and emergency unit of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital is that of an eyesore. The facility is a 36-bed capacity structure, but currently has in excess of 60 patients. Patients are scattered on the corridors of the unit with their IV fluids stuck in them. Doctors and nurses were struggling with movement around to deliver care to patients. Due to limited space at the unit, family members of the patients are made to sleep outside the unit. The situation is, however, not same at other units of the hospital, as the news team gathered some of the patients who are stable have been moved to other wards. Hajia Janet laments how she had to endure watching her sick daughter attended to in a chair.
It's very appalling. If you have not brought a patient here and you just listen to radio and television, you might think all is well. It's not well. Until my daughter came here. He had a sudden cardiac attack all the way in an ambulance from Kasua to this place. Luckily, they attended to her. But since we came, he has never had a bed. Somebody with cardiac-related problem, where you saw me is where he has been sitting.
For Mary Abrakwa, she had to rush across the streets of the hospital to buy plastic chairs to enable her sick husband, who had a heart attack and was rushed to the hospital to be attended to.
I bought these 2 chairs. I will carry them along when my husband is discharged.
One Kobe Blay posted pictures of patients being attended to in plastic chairs and also lying on the floor of the unit on social media. According to hospital authorities, the situation compelled them to ask their sister hospitals to hold on with referrals to the facility for now. According to the public relations officer of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Mustafa Salifu, the situation is currently under control.
The number had reduced. Those who were sitting outside will move into the SME itself. But we are still doing. Another measure we took was to call the other hospital that they should hold on with the referrals.
He also revealed that there are plans to expand the facility to 70-bed capacity by the end of this month.
The Deputy Minister of Health also came here to find out what was happening, and then the Chief Executive also had a meeting with the Ministry. So we are planning together. They are giving us the necessary support to open the bigger emergency that is here by the 20th of July. That place will be open to at least double the capacity that we have now.
So until government works on the institutional leakages of the country's health system, this situation will continue to persist.
So still on the issue of health, let's head over to the Ashanti region, where authorities at the Sontreso Government Hospital in Kumasi have denied allegations of negligence leading to the death of a pregnant woman and her unborn baby. They have also described as false that 500 cedis was demanded as doctors' motivation before attending to patients at the facility. A report by Benjamin Edu.
The Sontreso Government Hospital in Kumasi has been in the media spotlight for allegedly refusing a 30-year-old pregnant woman entry into the labor ward on Wednesday, July 4. The hospital is alleged to have demanded a 500 cedi doctor motivation fee before medical attention, which the patient could not immediately pay. Angela Efriye Ajiman later died at a theater with her unborn baby. Medical superintendent at the hospital, Dr. Ejaku Poku, confirmed the death of the woman but ruled out negligence and demand for any motivation fee. He explained the woman in labor died whilst in queue to be attended to because of insufficient theater beds.
Sometimes some of these things do happen. The same healthcare providers go through. Sometimes these are some of the things beyond our control. But I'm assuring all of you that management will not sit on concern, will go into this issue.
The Sontreso Government Hospital has only one theatre bed for 2 doctors and 2 nurses. Patients often queue for space at the facility, which is second to the Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital in patient turnout. Dr. Ejaku Poku appealed to government and stakeholders to help address challenges facing the hospital.
So today on What Do You Think, we are asking what you think of the health situation in the country.
In May, the Ministry of Health issued a directive that no government hospital should turn patients away with the no-bed excuse. As a result, the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, being a major referral center, has been flooded with patients. Presently, the Kolebu Teaching Hospital is treating patients on chairs and on the floor. What do Ghanaians think about this situation? We find out today on What Do You Think?
We must allow the regional hospitals to accommodate some of the bedding on Kolebu. They must improve the conditions at the regional hospitals so that some of the patients can be referred to the regional hospitals. The Ministry of Health should do it through the regional ministers. They must give the health ministry what the situations are like in the regions. It will then guide the ministries as to what exactly to put at every regional capital.
If you see things like this going on, that means then someone is not doing his or her work well. So they need to check that part of it.
Our health situation, we need it first, because without healthy society, we cannot work, we cannot do anything. Nothing will be in existence.
Very terrible. I don't expect a country like Ghana, at where we've got into a modern nation. A lot of things are supposed to be in place by now, because if a patient is really sick and then the person has to go through all this stress again, you are even killing the person at the first place. So I'm thinking the government has to push money, because we are paying our taxes. There are a lot of money that we pay to the government, so these things should be sorted out by now.
They will do whatever they can do to help the health issues.
The
person is in chairs. You know that it's not supposed to be in the chair, but because of sickness, that's why he's sitting there. So you, the nurse who is seen to her, has to add some kind of special attention for her. So it is not that there's no bed, it's not there's no patient, that's why the hospital is not working. So no, it's the attitude of the doctors and the nurses. You can have all the state-of-the-art equipment in the hospitals. If you don't have the committed personnel, the place will flop.
I went to polyclinic to take X-ray, and they asked me to come in the following morning for my report. When I went for it, I went to see the doctor. I was sitting down since 12 o'clock till 4 o'clock in the evening, and the doctors are in there chatting. And when they were taking my pressure, the nurses were saying, what is going on here is wrong, because doctors will be in there chatting, not attending to the patients. And there are old women sitting in a wheelchair. They said they are there since in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, till 4 o'clock they've not been attended.
You're watching Midday live on TV3, and the issues of health will not go away. But we have in the studio the chairperson of the Coalition of NGOs in Health, Gabriel Benaku. You're welcome, Mr. Benaku.
Thank you.
So this situation will just not go away. But do you have the latest or any update on the situation at Kolebu currently?
Yeah, thank you. And good afternoon, Ghanaians. We have been to Kolebu, we have been to the ministry, and we have collaborated with our regional chair in the Ashanti region about the Sontreso issue. We are seeing a much more proactive arrangements being put in place by the Ministry of Health, Ghana Health Service. So we will take the opportunity to thank the Deputy Minister and the team at Kolebu for trying to resolve the issues.
So what has actually been done?
There are two issues. There has been a high-level discussion of the move to decongest the place by getting the old facilities put in place. And somebody right now, the coalition member is there to see whether there will be some works starting there. That is, so we acknowledge that there has been proactiveness since the 3 days that we started discussing this issue. The other issue is that we got the information that the Kumasi Ashanti Regional Health Directorate and the Suntreso have come out with their preliminary investigation. So the coalition have learned from the two situations in the two regions. We are also going to commit ourselves to an independent inquiry.
Right.
This is the first time we are going to do that. We are not going to rely on the Ministry of Health, Ghana Health Service, normal inquiry.
Right. An inquiry into what exactly?
We want to find out what really happened in the two situations. If you notice all the alleged negligence, all the malhandled issues, all the situation that created last year and this year, we have always talked about it, and then the Ministry of Health or Ghana Health Service will also give a response without anybody doing a follow-up to find out what is the real state. And this time the coalition wants to go beyond just advocacy and also to provide an alternative report.
Right. Now let's
so
go back to
we
the
are going
issue.
to work with all the global technical team to come out with an alternative report to confirm or otherwise the situation.
Right. So let's go back to the issue of Korle Bu and the congestion there. Is this as a result of an influx of emergency cases, or this is just because they are now aren't able to turn patients away?
The coalition is much more aware of the situation. A teaching hospital arrangement should be entirely different from any other hospital, and so there should not be any excuse of because you have 35 beds and now you have 67 and therefore you are not able to manage the situation, and that is not a capacity issue that we want to hear about. So as we keep on saying, the Korle Bu should be able to coordinate its affairs with the nearby health facilities so that the public should not even see this as a problem. And they have that capacity. A teaching hospital that teaches all the medical teams in the country should not allow lay people to be telling them what they should be doing. And so we still stand by our point that Korle Bu should be able to provide that strong leadership. The management of Korle Bu should show from what is happening, should show to the whole public that they are capable, they are aware of the situation within the circumstances they find themselves. We are not just blaming Korle Bu, but we are asking them to be much more proactive because they are a national referral, because they train the other nearby hospital, because they have a database, because they know the trend that is going on in the country, and they are supposed to coordinate that.
Just hold on for me a bit. We've been joined on the line by Dr. Titus Biyu, who is the General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association, on the phone. Good afternoon to you, Dr. Biyu.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to your viewers.
Well, thank you
Just
so
a
much.
little correction. I'm the Deputy General Secretary, so that I'm not usurping my boss's position.
Sorry for that. The Deputy General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association. Thank you for joining us on the line. So what has accounted for the congestion at the emergency unit at Korle Bu currently?
Well, I think it's just basically an issue of demand exceeding supply. And the Medical Association cautioned that this will happen when we have a situation where there's just a directive that everybody should be taken in, and whether there is space or not.
So this is because you can't turn anybody away now, and that's the reason why you have the congestion.
Exactly, and the capacity of the place is limited. The functional capacity of the emergency is limited. So that is the basic explanation of it. The emergency is designed for about 30 patients, as we hear, and at the time when you have serious congestion, you can have 60 to about 70 patients. So definitely you will have this type of congestion.
Has there been any improvement at all today? Has anything been done currently?
No, if you want the details on the ground, you have to speak to the management of Korle Bu. I won't be able to speak to what they have put in place. But what I can speak to is what the Medical Association has said about this and what we thought would happen and how we are just letting it play out as we predicted when the directive was issued.
All right, so as we're looking at this situation, how can we resolve this problem? Is it a matter of, as they're saying, that they are now going to expand it to a 70-bed capacity? Is that the solution to it?
It's partly the solution, but that is not the whole solution. If you look at the demand on Kolebu Teaching Hospital and the demand for emergency services, this 70 capacity, bed capacity that they are saying they are going to increase the emergency to will get choked up because in 2 days ago when this thing started, the number of patients at the hospital was about 60, if I'm not wrong. So as far as we are concerned, the solution must be holistic. It must not start with just increasing the capacity of Kolebu. We must look at pre-hospital care. We must look at a national call system that allows people to call the emergency services wherever they are and be able to tell where there will be space and for what type of condition. And if you increase the functional capacity of Kolebu and leave out Rich Hospital and leave out Mamobi Polyclinic and leave out Mampuri Polyclinic within the capital, we will still have this congestion.
Dr. Bayo, thank you. I'm sorry, we'll have to end it here. Thank you very much for your insight. That was the Deputy General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association. So, Mr. Benako, back to you. He's saying that even a 70-bed capacity will not solve the situation. So we should be looking at the foundational cause of this problem and perhaps overhaul the entire health system.
Yes, I think that is what the strengthening the health system now is the hallmark. And the Ministry of Health already is aware of this at the just ended health summit, where civil society play a critical role. We need to have a total health budget increase. We need to increase that. And we have already provided all the necessary information for the minister to now present to cabinet and influence cabinet for them to increase the health budget. That's one. Two, the Ghana Health Service still need to be innovative in the way they are managing health facilities within the country, more especially the regional health facilities. And three, we need to support the Ghana Health Service and the media to be able to scale out preventive and health promotion programs. Because when people are getting to teaching hospital to treat malaria, it is very unnecessary. Malaria can be treated at the CHIP compound, it can be treated at the nearest health facility. But because the Ministry of Health is not supporting Ghana Health to roll out their public health education, people are ignorant about their health rights, people are ignorant about what type of services they need to seek at the district level, regional and national.
Unfortunately, we have to end it here. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
You're watching Midday live on TV3. Now on to our MTN video report today. Our citizen journalist Haruna Ameche highlights the poor state of classroom block at Triponi district in the northern region.
We have a 3-classroom block which serve 2 communities. That is Mayamam community and Nyangbandi community, all in the Charapone district. And this is the state of the school. When it rains, this classroom gets flooded and people have to sweep the classroom before they can sit for any teaching and learning to take place. This is another classroom, class 3, and this class 3 block. And when it rains, teaching and learning has to be halted. This is your citizen journalist, Mr. Haruna Ameche.
Or you can also send your video reports via our WhatsApp platform 05514330044 and do add your name and where you are reporting from. You're watching Midday live on TV3. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Midday Live on TV3. Now, a leading member of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, says he does not recognize the chairmanship of Freddie Blay since his election would eventually destroy the party. Dr. Tamaklo, together with 3 other executive members, were suspended from the party in 2016. He spoke on Sunrise on 3FM.
The acting national chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Freddie Blay, was confirmed chairman after he beat Stephen Ntim and Dr. Makoba at Saturday polls in Koforidua. The former lawmaker garnered 3,021 votes, as against Ntim's 2,515, with Dr. Makoba securing a paltry 18 votes. But a leading member of the governing New Patriotic Party, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, says he refused to recognize Freddie Blay as his chairman, describing him as an imposter.
An imposter has been used by a group of people to become the chairman of the party.
And the imposter here is Freddie Blay.
He's the one. To me, he's an imposter. I don't consider him, and I will never consider him as a true member of NPP. Here we have a situation where an imposter has succeeded in becoming the chairman of the party. As I said, I will never, ever consider him as my chairman. Those who want to consider, they can go ahead and consider him. And I know there are a lot of other Ghanaians who are members of the New Patriotic Party who will not consider him as their chairman.
He described his election as a well-orchestrated plan.
The recent elections have been used to legitimize the coup d'etat staged by the faction against the Paul Afoko administration. We all know Blay is not a member of our party, or has not been a member of our party for years. In fact, 2 years ago, I made it quite clear that if our party is going to face crisis, and the serious crisis and maybe division, it will come from Blay. Now, if Blay is truly committed as a politician, he should fix the issues in CPP rather than become the MPP and serve factional interests. I see Blay as serving factional interests, but not interests of New Patriotic Party.
Dr. Tamaklo, who was suspended along with 3 other members, has been critical on issues while the party was in opposition and in government.
So let's just stay on this issue of the NPP and speak with Dr. Brenya, who is a political scientist, on the phone. Good afternoon to you, Dr. Brenya. Now, this comments coming from a leading member of the NPP, is it healthy?
Good afternoon and good afternoon to the listeners of TV3. I think that for a party to forge forward and win elections, it needs to be united. I think what is happening right now is a wake-up call to the leadership of the NPP to do everything that it can to make sure that those that are currently not happy with the election of the current chairman are in a way brought to settle their differences with the chairman. Other than that, then it will not augur well for the party.
Then Freddie Blay was duly elected by a democratic process. So do you believe that Dr. Tamaklo has a right to say this? He does have a right, but is it healthy in that sense, since he knows that he was duly elected through a democratic process?
In the principle and interest of democracy, once an individual has gone through the process and has been elected, I don't think that such a statement should have come from a leading member of the party. But of course, we are human beings, and I think that people choose to use all kind of avenues to address their issue. The important thing for the party is to realize that there are people who are not happy with the status quo, and therefore those people need to be engaged so that they can bring all on board.
But he is saying he's an imposter, and he will never recognize him. So is there anything the party can do in this situation at all?
I think it's about engaging individuals. Whatever his grievances is will come to bear when they engage him. And they so describe of imposter will not matter again once they've engaged and they've accepted their diplomas.
Thank you very much, Dr. Brenya, who is a political scientist. You're watching Midday live on TV3. Now to some more stories, and President Akufo-Addo says there's no political agenda underlying the processed creation of 6 more regions in the country. According to the president, there's no attempt to create ethnic antagonisms or factions in this exercise, but to promote good governance.
President Akufo-Addo made this known at Adaklu on day 2 of his 3-day tour of the Volta region. The president recounted the historical background on the creation of regions in Ghana.
After independence, Kwame Nkrumah's CPP government created Brong Ahafo region. They also created the Central region. And then came the Upper region created out of the North. Then J. John Rawlings' PNDC government came and divided the Upper region into Upper West and Upper East. So we've had then, for the last 20 years, the status quo has been 10 regions. The regional reorg structure of our country has not been static. It has taken into account developments, population developments, the need to improve the quality of governance and take it closer and closer to the people, because that is the most effective government that we have. So now have come demands for the creation of more regions. And we're going about this matter in a constitutionally sanctioned way so that it can be seen that it is the popular will that determines.
President Akufo-Addo told the gathering due process was followed, having received the petitions. The president said the potential creation of the region should not be regarded as a rejection by the people from the Northern Volta.
That's not the reason. The reason is that it becomes a more efficient way of organizing the government of our country. And that efficient way will inure to all our benefit. There is no political underlying agenda in this thing. I am not doing it for votes. I don't know how the people in these regions are going to vote. Because they have their region, it means automatically that they will vote for Akufo-Addo.
Now today, June 11, marks World Population Day. It is a United Nations initiative to raise the awareness of increasing population. Now, it was recommended by the Programming Council of the United Nations Development Program, and we've been joined in the studio by Nanama Obobidonko, who is the Programs Officer of the National Population Council. We're taking a short break. We'll be back. So today is July 11 and it marks World Population Day. I've been joined in the studio by the Programs Officer of the National Population Council, Nanama Obobidonko. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
So the theme for this year is family planning is a human right.
Yes.
Now, how does this translate to a better quality of life for people?
So what we are trying to put across is that everybody in need of family planning services should be able to have it. That is, it should be accessible, it should be available, and this will curb the rate of population growth such that the facilities available will be enough for everybody to have that quality of life we want. We don't want to put pressure on the existing facilities that we have already.
No, but I do believe the access is there. I mean, when you look at our public health setup, the access to family planning services is there. But then the issue is the people who would make the move, are they in the right frame of mind to understand that they need to plan their families?
Yes, that's why we are doing all these advocacy programs to sensitize them on the need for them to go and patronize this family planning, because if you don't and you keep on giving birth, it's going to be a toll on you yourself, aside the government toll, you personally as a family or an individual, there's a toll on you. So definitely you need to go in for that. So we are making more of this advocacy. That's why last year our team was similar to family plan. This year too, we are still hammering on it so that it goes down well, then people will start picking it up.
So what specific steps are you taking? How are you hammering down?
Okay, so we are liaising with our partners, right? We work basically, we are a coordinating agency, so the implementing partners, that is PPAG, Marine Soaps, other Ghana Health Service, Ghana Education Service. So they all have various roles that they are playing. The health service are the ones providing the services, and then the education are educating the people. So now this year we even drafted a comprehensive sexuality education policy, such that we want the training should start from KG, so that as they grow to the tertiary level, they get that knowledge. So once they get to that starting having sex or whatever, they know where to go to. So we are working with all these partners. We go to marriage stores, whatever commodity you want, they have it available. So we are liaising with all these partners to make sure that the uptake of family planning goes up.
Thank you very much, and we do wish you well in that endeavor. We've been speaking with Anama Obo-Bidonko, who is the Programs Officer of the National Population Council. This is Midday Live on TV3. Let's look at some more stories now.
This news segment is brought to you by MTN, Universal Merchant Bank.
Traders at the Malam Atta markets have attributed the rising prices of foodstuff to the change in weather pattern, rising imports, as well as the seasonal cultivation by majority of local farmers. They are, however, optimistic there would be a bumper harvest in August. Our reporter Bridget Marty has the rest of the story.
The prices of foodstuff have gone up for some months now. Fruits and vegetables are expected to be in abundance between June and August, but that has not been the case. A sack of imported onions, which used to sell for 200 cedis a month ago, now sells at 360 cedis. A box of garlic imported from China, which used to sell at 600 cedis, now sells at 900 cedis. Again, a box of local tomatoes, which was going for 150 cedis, now sells at 250 cedis. Some traders at the Malam Atta market in Accra are of the view prices of foodstuff may go down when they are in abundance.
First, we say 5 cedis. We say 8 cedis.
We sell this tuber of yam at 8 cedis. A few months back, it was 5 cedis. We are hoping by August or September the price may go down.
First, I get on 8 cedis. Back to say, it's an 12 cedis. So much to we're free Holland.
This is carrot from Holland. It used to be 8 cedis, but now it goes for 12 cedis.
80 Ghana. See, I could do 180.
We sell at a loss. We are expecting the harvest from Ada. The prices are better.
Both traders and customers are hopeful. As the rains come, foodstuff will be in abundance to ensure a stable and fair pricing on the commodity market.
So on the back of that, inflation was 10% in June. This is an increase of 0.2% higher than May inflation that stood at 9.8%. This is attributed to increase in price levels in non-food items.
The year-on-year non-food inflation rate for June 2018 was 11.2% compared with the rate of 10.9% that was recorded in May 2018. Now, the year-on-year food inflation rate for June 2018 was 7.3% compared with 7.6% recorded in May 2018. At the regional level, 4 regions, Upper West, Brong, Ahafo, Western, and Ashanti, recorded inflation rates that were higher than the national average of 10.0%. And the Northern region recorded the same inflation rate as the national average of 10.0%. Upper West region recorded the highest year-on-year inflation rate of 11.9%, followed by Ahafo with 10.9%, while Upper East region recorded the lowest year-on-year inflation rate of 8.1% in June 2018.
Tema Oil Refinery Tor says that reports of 200 workers that have been sacked are untrue. According to Tor, it is not embarking on any such retrenchment exercise. In a release, the Tema Oil Refinery noted no permanent worker has been sacked. Tor, however, said contract duration of some casual workers engaged during extensive shutdown maintenance in 2017 to assist in repair works for a specific period of time have elapsed. Tor noted it respects the labor law as well as the right of these workers and would not in any way violate what the law requires or exploit these casual workers. We have sports coming up shortly with Yao Ufusulabi. The chairman of the various national regional branches of the Ghana Actors Guild and committee heads have met in Accra to review the guild's constitution enacted in 1996. Aside putting in place the right governance structures to drive the guild, the review process will ensure that the constitution becomes adequately responsive to the needs of the guild.
Me and my for the house. How much you do?
Executives of the Ghana Actors Guild recognize that the body's constitution has to be reviewed to take care of their current needs and aspirations. It's been 22 years after the guild's constitution was promulgated. According to executives of the guild, some clauses have become irresponsible to current dynamics, hence the need for the document to be fine-tuned.
The National Executive Committee, and in that position, do the following. A. Record minutes of both executive and general meetings.
The all-inclusive review process received inputs from consultants and legal experts. Ashanti Regional Chairman of the Guild, Bill Asamoah, described the process as forward-looking and a step in the right direction.
It's been long overdue. I think this process was initiated way back in 2006, thereabout, by the then President Neo-Doye Mensah, and we were unable to push through it. And then by God's grace, if it is here today with us, I think it is laudable.
Decentralizing the structures of administration, growing membership, and overhauling the constitution to be more gender sensitive were high on the agenda.
As an entity, the guild is growing, and the dynamics within the guild is changing, and the terrain within which they are operating is also reforming very fast. And it's important that they look at their constitution, which was enacted several decades ago, to ensure that the constitution captures the realities of their circumstances and is structured in a manner that facilitates the efficiency of their administration.
It's not really been done this way before, and this constitution has really taken a lot of time to get to this stage. And today at the meeting, at the review meeting, there are other departments we just added up to be fixed into the constitution, like the women's wing, and we believe that in our generation now, women should be inclusive in everything we are doing. So
the reviewed document will be tabled for final validation at a special congress to be held later this month.
And that's all for Midday Live on TV3. For more news on these and more, do go to 3news.com. And we also want to hear your comments, so do visit our social media platforms, TV3 Ghana. My name is Efua Teku. Have a lovely afternoon.